want to welcome everyone to our Braille Expo. We've invited you all here to show you how we're using Braille dots to fight the war against recidivism.
Central State Prison held their annual Braille Expo to demonstrate how the 25 offenders in the program work to transcribe and produce textbooks for visually impaired students in grades kindergarten to 12th all across the nation.
We have roughly about 3,000 students that you're making an impact on. Okay, and that's something that to me is a very specialized skill. To you who are doing this day in and day out, thank you for investing your time, your lives in doing this. But just know that your work is having an impact each and every day. And I know it's not only within Georgia, but also throughout the nation as well. And so thank you for your dedication in making Georgia stand out.
Central State Prison is just one of 23 prison Braille programs across the United States, and the only one in Georgia. The Braille program started at the facility in 2011. Since then, offenders who complete the program become nationally certified in Braille transcription through the Library of Congress. Offender Derek Hurd says the Braille program is a success because it changes their way of thinking.
One of the things that I've come to realize while being incarcerated is that majority of us are here because of selfish acts. Whether you want to admit it or not, the things that we do wrong are all based on selfish desires. Braille helps you to understand that you don't need to be selfish, you need to be selfless. And when you learn to help a handicapped individual or individual with a disadvantage, that helps you to understand what selflessness really is. And then when you go back into society, as opposed to looking for ways to do things to benefit self, you look for ways to benefit everyone else. And I believe Braille is an excellent program to help individuals develop that type of mentality.
He says the first step in the process is to use a program to distinguish the text and convert the characters into Braille. There are only 6 keys that represent the dots used to show characters, parts of words, or even whole words.
We have to take the picture which we get in the PDF format and we transfer it into what we call a OCR format, which means optical character recognition. Now each and every individual character on the page is recognized separately. Therefore, it can be actually transcribed into a dot. Braille has a representation in dot formation for everything that you see on a printed page. We can represent color, we can represent bold print, underlining, we can represent all of your punctuation.
The offenders don't just convert the text into Braille, they also transcribe the pictures, called tactile graphics.
Tactile graphics are pictures that are in a book that have to be reproduced in a way that a blind student can ascertain what the image is trying to convey. Here's a bee. This is in a 4th grade textbook. And so what we do here is we print the image out on a piece of cardboard. We cut the cardboard out. We put it on a piece of Braille paper and then run it through what's called a thermoform machine, which will raise the image up on a piece of plastic paper. So what you have here is here's a Braille label that this identifies the bee's body, identifies the different parts of the bee, and so the blind child can run his finger over the wing or the abdomen or the different parts of the bee's body, and he'll be able to get an idea of what a bee's body is shaped like.
Some of the graphics that are converted for the visually impaired students are called embellishments, which combine computer-generated images with handmade detail added.
What this map is trying to teach is the difference in distance between going through the Panama Canal and going through the corner of South America, or going past the corner of South America. You got labels for the identified cities such as San Francisco, New York. This is actually an example of what's called embellishment, where we glue string and identifies one wrap, and the rest of this was done on a computer using software called Corel Draw.
Once the transcription and the graphics are proofread 3 times, it's then off to production.
This is what it will actually look like. Now, all these equate to 772 print pages, which is 1,989 Braille pages. I'm going to go ahead and use the software, which is Braille 2000, and I'm just going to send several pages to the full waves. And this does 8 pages simultaneously, so I'm only going to send about 8 to 4 waves 2. And from here, I'm going to hit OK, and we'll go to the 4 waves so you can see how that goes. And you're able to pull the process of the sheets that's already been embossed, as you can see.
In the production process, the offenders even create labels in letter form, as well as Braille, so the books can be found when on the bookshelf. The entire transcription process can be extensive. About 80 Braille pages can take anywhere from 5 to 7 days, depending on how many pages and graphics are in the book.
Welcome to the Georgia Braille Transcribers Expo. So there's some colors, so that way it's a lot larger so you can see the Braille dots versus the print. So when we thermoform these, we'll use a Braille-on sheet. We'll set it up on top. And this machine heats it up with a heating element that's up on top here. And after about 6 seconds or so, the machine pump will pull down on what was heated, turn the pump off, and then you get a representation of the master tactile.
It works fast.
Yeah, it's quick. So you have the master, and then you have the thermoform, the Braille-on.
The offenders say transcribing for a greater cause is helping them connect the dots in their own lives. Cassandra Ortiz for the Georgia Department of Corrections. Real time, real life.